entitled parents. Entitled mom wants to skip the line. Gets a lot more than she wanted. Edit. Conversion for temperature. 35 degrees Celsius is 95 degrees Fahrenheit. A need to know detail. It was F*** N hot. It was about 35 degrees Celsius, but it felt like 44. Important detail for later. So I was standing in line at the checkout at my local supermarket. I think in total I had about 10 items, some frozen goods, drinks, and snacks. I usually tend to take out one of the buds of my phone so in case someone addresses me, I would hear it. At this time, the woman at the cash register was taking care of the payment of one client and there was one person in front of me, and then suddenly she appeared, the M in this story. Now honestly she didn't look it. She didn't even give off a mean vibe or anything. Even the way she started talking to me was overall nice and polite. At first. Excuse me, do you mind if I skip ahead? I'm in a hurry. Now in general, if somebody politely asks me this, and I don't have any urgent business of my own, I usually don't mind. This time however, I didn't have that many groceries, so her delay would be at most a few minutes while she was pushing a fully loaded shopping cart in front of her. So if I would have let her skip, I'd probably still be in the store for another 10-20 minutes. So I politely decline and tell her I will hurry as much as I can. Of course this was a great offense. I had not given this woman her entitlement. She blew up instantly, yelling and screaming at me that she was in a hurry and, not kidding here, had to be home in time for her shows. Now at this time I would like to point out that during this round she only said she had to be home in time for shows and that they were very important to her. There was nothing else making this urgent for her. This is important a bit later. Now while this woman was going off, the person at the cash register went into ignore mode and just started scanning my groceries, which I loaded into a bag, while the M was going on about how I was garbage and they should bang me from the store. Now this should have been the end of it. Just turn around and go home and forget this happened. But then she said something that one made me almost want to kill her. Two made this a postable story. While I was walking away, just about to put the earbud back in, she yells, "If you pass by my car, tell my son he's the reason he has to wait another half an hour for me." Now I'm not an extremely smart person, but in this moment my brain made some connections quickly. What I realized was this. 1. Again, it was very hot outside. 2. This woman had been in the store for a while, judging by the amount of groceries. 3. The entire parking lot of this store had almost no shade. 4. It was about 2 p.m, so the sun was just over its peak. I rush outside and start running past cars, scanning them for kids inside. Thankfully, one of the first cars I pass has a small child laying in the backseat. This kid is as pale as a ghost, sweating like crazy, and it looked like he was only half conscious. I run back inside, and to my utter astonishment, this bitch is having a conversation with the cashier while she's checking out her groceries. I grab her by the shoulders, spin her around, and yell almost straight to her face that her kid is literally dying in your car, and if you don't do something right now I'm smashing in your windows and calling the cops. At first she looked at me in complete confusion, probably never been spoken to like that before in her life. Then the realization of what I told her sunk in, and she rushed outside. While she went outside, a man tapped me on the shoulder and asked what had happened. I explained the situation, actually leaving out the bit at the cash register, just saying I saw the kid in the car and knew that this woman was probably the owner. He went outside, and when I came outside, the M suddenly rushed me and got in my face saying I was the reason she was in the store for so long and her son's current condition was my fault. Before I can even respond, the man that approached me earlier speaks up. Turns out this man was an off-duty cop and had been in the store for a while, and as such knew that the actual delay caused by me could have not caused this. He also said he had already called an ambulance for the kid and the cops for her. I don't know what happened to the M, but she completely crashed. She just sat down on the pavement and started shaking her head, not saying much except the occasional sob or "not my fault." As for the ending, everything turned out okay for most parties. I stayed a while to give a statement to the cops and my contact info in case it went to court. The kid was okay afterwards, and since his mom got arrested they called his dad or another male family member. I didn't ask to accompany him to hospital. As for the M, I'm assuming she is going to have to stand trial for child endangerment. Not sure if she'll just get a fine or jail time. Update. I was contacted by the police a few days ago, last Friday. I went to the station, where they went over my statement, asked if I wanted to add or amend anything. I said I didn't. They couldn't really tell me directly what was going to happen with the mother or the family in general, but said that the standard punishment, when the child is not seriously hurt or dead, is usually a gas fine. GAS stands for Gemeentelijke Administratieve Sanctie in Dutch and Municipal Administrative Sanction in English. I think it's kind of sad something bad has to happen before serious punishment is handed out. I do not know what the amount of the fine will be, but as for me, it couldn't be high enough. I have not seen any of those people in the store or in the area in general, but I also don't know if they live near here or were just passing by the store by coincidence, or maybe they are just avoiding the store. That's also possible. That will probably be the end of this tale. I know many of you hoped for something worse for the mother, but sadly, life is not fair. But at least the child lived, and let's hope the mother learned a lesson. M tells my husband not to order for me, or for me to use sign language. Here's a little history of me so this makes more sense. I'm nonverbal due to an injury, and communicate exclusively via writing and sign language, unless I want to feel like I'm pouring half molten nails down my throat. DH, my husband. M, entitled mother. Park, Porkid. I love eating at restaurants. Denny's, Applebee's, little family-owned Mexican and Chinese places, etc. With that means I gotta get my food, which my husband typically orders for me to avoid me playing a game of charades with the waiter/waitress. We were eating out and apparently this was wrong. So we were getting our food and this little kid near us, maybe 8 or 9, was watching us, since the restaurant was fairly empty. Right after the server leaves, the kid can audibly be heard speaking with his mother, a woman probably in her mid to late 40s. Park, mommy. What about her? M. She wasn't paying attention, I'd assume. HMM. What was that? Park. Park. He ordered for both of them. M. He what? Park. The girl didn't talk to him. M. That's not right. Let's go see if there's a reason. Park. At this point she takes a few steps over towards us. Park in tow. M. Hi you two. DH. Hello. M. Who is this? She motions towards me. Your girlfriend? DH. Close enough. Do you need something? M. Do you do that often? DH. Do what often? M. Order for her? DH. All the time. M. Could you please stop that? DH. I'd rather not. M. I'm asking nicely. Park. Can she not talk? DH. Bassica. M cuts him off. Just don't do it again. I don't want my kid to grow up to be some barbarian. DH. No. Feel free to leave us alone. She leaves with a huff, and that seemed to be it for the night at first. As we got our food we started talking, signing, both clearly a little confused about what this strange woman's issue was. Now, when I'm saying crazy in sign language I use the ever known finger pointing to head crazy, which I happened to start using right as she reapproached us. M. What are you two doing? DH. Please go away ma'am. M. I'm not going to let you teach my kid gang signs. So stop it. DH. We are not teaching anything. It's C. M. I don't care what it is. Stop it. Just talk like normal people. She physically put air quotes on the word talk. Classy. She soon walked away, and we continued our conversation with her angrily staring at us and trying to shield her kid from the terrific gang signs up until they left. On behalf of all people who don't talk, I'd like to apologize for encouraging gang culture. /s. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you tomorrow.